I know, but look, I just call it as I see it, and my honest opinion is the first guy that ever said this thing about hot drinks in mugs ruining furniture was probably the inventor of the coaster.
It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
I'm going to start this week by talking about my appearance. This is what happens when you suddenly remember at the last minute that the coin toss last week said I had to have my hair down and I haven't got time to do anything about it because I'm on a very tight schedule. So I'm afraid you'll just have to take me as I am today and we will make the best of it. I'm also pleased to report that I am going to be more relaxed about the timer, which is just as well because I forgot to start the damn thing. So I talked about this last week and the response was really good. So it's now going to be a guide rather than a hard deadline. So as long as the main body of the show is contained within 10 minutes, it doesn't matter about the bits either side. Which is just as well, because I seem to be adding in so many of these choices by chance things, like outfit roulette and the coin toss, that the end of the show could go on for months, but it doesn't matter anymore because the 10-minute timer is just a guide. I really like that phrase, by the way, choices by chance, because that is effectively what I'm doing. I'm sort of delegating my choices to things of chance. So let's do our fun fact for a Friday. This is where I panic because I can't remember whether I put a new one in the envelope, but we'll soon find out, won't we? So this is going to be something that I've learnt in the last week or so that I wasn't aware of, that I want to share with you. These could be about absolutely anything. This week's fabulous fun fact for a Friday is this: female lobsters are called hens. I won't put that back in there because then I'll write a new one on it ready for next week and then I will know it's done and then I won't panic quite so much. Next thing I want to talk about is purple being the new brown, or specifically purple cards being the new brown folder. I'm not going to explain the brown folder again because I've done it in both previous shows, but I've got a lot of these purple cards around and as you can see I've started writing down on them quite a lot. So as I have little ideas for things I might want to talk about on the show, I'm writing them down on the purple card. So I think maybe next week it will become a feature the way that the brown folder used to be, and I'll come up with a little theme song for it, and every week we'll look at what I've written on the purple card and talk about what I've been thinking about. So I might just take one off here because there's quite a few of them to talk about this week as a little example. So I'm going to go with, is my son my bogey team, in inverted commas? It's a bit of a phenomenon in sports that I'm sure you're aware of, that no matter how good a team is, there will be another team that always seems to catch them out. And they're known as your bogey team. So it doesn't matter if you're top of the league and unbeaten and they're bottom of the league without a win. When you meet, the chances are that they are going to find a way to beat you. And it becomes a real psychological drain for things. Players expect it, the fans turn up going, we're 40 points clear of them in the league, they're going to beat us 5-0. It's just something that happens. And I wondered whether it could happen with individuals, because I come from a real game-playing family. My parents and family members, we always used to play board games and card games. And that's something I've continued with my own children. And a couple of weeks ago, in a moment of nostalgia, my son and I dug out the game Frustration from under his bed. And in case you're not familiar with it, Frustration is the one, it's a really simple game where you have 4 tokens and you have to get them out. You have to roll a 6 to move them onto the board, and then you go around the board to get them safe at home. And the first person to get all 4 tokens round is the winner. If you land your token on top of somebody else's, they have to go right back to the start. And that's where the word frustration comes in. And this is also the one where instead of rolling a dice on the board, there's a little popper in the middle. So there's like a dome with a metal bit underneath. So you press down, it's like you're doing CPR on the game board. You press down, it springs up, the dice rolls around inside, and then you go with whatever is facing upwards. A bit like what I do with the rolling of the cube. Now, obviously, it's all down to chance, but it was a trouncing. Me and my son played this game and I got absolutely wiped. For a start, it took me about 35 rolls to get a 6, by which time he had 3 of his tokens home already. There was a point where I had 4 tokens out, he had only 1, but his 1 token managed to land on each of my 4 in turn. And it got to the point where I was saying, you're going to roll a 3 because you're 3 spaces behind me, and he would roll a 3. And it didn't happen just once. This happened 3 or 4 games throughout the afternoon. And it got to the point where I thought, this isn't just down to chance. There are darker forces at work here. Was I evil in a previous life and I'm now being punished? It got that bad. And then fast forward to last week, we decided to have a game of Rummy. Really simple card game. 7 cards. Sorry if you know this already, but just to explain if you don't. 7 cards each. And you have to get your cards into 2 groups. And you can have a run or a set. And a run is a consecutive set of numbers from one suit. and then a set is just 3 of the same number. So you could have, for example, ace, 2, 3 and 4 of clubs and 3 twos. Or you could have 4 kings and 3 jacks. Or you could have the 6, 7, 8 and 9 of diamonds and the jack, queen and king of spades. As long as they match up some way like that, that's how you win the game. 11 games in a row my son won, and there's a little bit of skill and experience in this game depending on what cards have gone already, depending on what cards you see when you pick a card up at each time, but it's really down to chance and how you've shuffled the pack. 11 games in a row he won, by which time I thought he's got a hex over me, something is going on here. So I was thinking that we might do an experiment on one of these approaching dark winter evenings where we'll play 9 or 10 different games and see how much bad luck I have, because it was beyond something that you would look at normally and go, that's just the natural way the game is played. So I've got that out. That makes me feel a little bit better about it, and I can scratch it off what I've written here on the purple card, and then we'll continue with that next week, and in the next few days I will come up with some kind of theme song for that. So with that, let's get round to what we wanted to do for the main part of this show, which is one of these online quizzes that I used to do in previous episodes. And my computer's shut itself down, so I just have to put in my password. Too tall to be sexy. There we go. So this is one of these online quizzes where you answer certain questions. I've actually put my password in wrong. And then it determines something at the end of it. This is how we worked out what the official cookie of the Daylight Midnight Show was be, what the official bird was. And the one I've gone with this week is called What Would Your Demon Be? I'm a big fan of the Dark Materials books written by Philip Pullman, and they are set in an alternate universe. And in that universe, your soul is not contained within your body, it is contained outside your body in the form of an animal. And when you're a child, that animal can change. So one day you might have a moth, the next day you might have a lion. But when you become an adult, your demon sets itself as one animal that stays with you for the rest of your life. And it's a way of other people knowing what kind of person you are. They'll see your demon and they will know exactly what kind of person they are dealing with. So I've often wondered and had conversations with other people of, if we were living in that universe, what would your demon be? And I found a website that has a quiz. It's tryinteract.com. They have all sorts of these different quizzes. And I know these are like a data grab thing. This is a way of them getting information about you that they sell to advertisers. There's normally a weird question in there that doesn't fit with the rest, like, which social media platform do you prefer the most? Or if you were locked in a shed on a desert island, what one item would you take with you? And then they use that to do targeted advertising. But it's a bit of fun, and it's a way for you to learn more about me. So this is the one that we are doing this week. What would your demon be? We'll answer the questions. There aren't too many of them, I don't think. And it will tell me what my demon is. And by association, that will also be your demon. It will be our demon. And then next week, I'll get a picture of it printed out and we'll put it on the Door of Delights. So, in The Golden Compass, the first book, everyone has a demon, spelled D-A-E-M-O-N, by the way, which is an animal companion. This animal represents you and your personality and is as close to you as your own heart. That's a much better explanation than the one I gave you. So here we go. Take the quiz. Your friend is goofing off in class. Shows you the age group this is aimed at, but we'll carry on. Your friend is goofing off in class. What do you do? These are all multiple choice questions. These are the choices. Tell them to stop, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm the one goofing off with them. I don't do anything, it's not my problem. Or I watch, hoping they'll get in trouble. Going back to my own school days, I think I would have to put, I'm the one goofing off with them. We've now got a picture around. Which of these outfits would you choose? It's a very skinny female model, wearing an elegant dress, an off-the-shoulder number with a hat, a pair of jeans and a jumper, a sort of smart casual office suit, and a hippie outfit. I've got to go with the hippie on that one. Which of these words would your friends use to describe you? The choices are observant, clever, loyal, fun, or short-tempered. I suppose all of those could be applied to me. The one I would hope, though, would probably be fun, especially when I'm doing a show that I hope is fun for people to watch. What do you do when you first meet someone is the next question. Judge them silently. Think of tricks to play on them, or see if they could be my new partner in crime. I'm chatty, excited and silly. I'm just nice, I guess. Or decide if I like them, and if not, glare. I'm going to do what I hope I do with most people when I meet them, which is try and be nice. So that would be my answer. Question 5 of 9. Which of these sounds like the most fun? Drama. I love watching it go down. Pulling pranks on people. No. People watching. Hanging out with my friends. Or helping people. I love it. Each of those last 3, I think, sort of apply to me. But as a writer and an observer, I think people watching is the one that I really do the most of. So I'll go with that. And here we go, as expected. Which of these apps is your favourite? And I've got pictures of the logos of different social media apps, 2 of which I have no clue what they are. So I'm actually going to click on the little bird, which I know is Twitter, which isn't Twitter anymore, so this isn't the correct logo, which shows you how old this one is, but it's the only one I'm familiar with. Oh man, we're going to run way over time. But I don't care, because we've relaxed the rules a little bit. We're nearly finished anyway. Where is your ideal travel destination? My bed, Paris, the North Pole, somewhere popular like Los Angeles or Disneyland. I would like to see LA, but the closest thing, my dream destination would be Antarctica. So I'm going to say the North Pole, which is as far away from Antarctica as you can get, but in style and climate, I guess it's the closest. What do you look for in a friend? Someone to be my partner in crime, someone who cares about me, someone who follows the rules, someone who will tell me all the gossip, not interested at all, someone I can talk with. I do want people to care about me, but I don't think that's something you can insist on. It's something that comes from the way you are and the way you are with them. And if you care for them as a friend, they will care for you as a friend. So for me, what I look for is someone I can talk with. And talk with honestly, preferably with no pretense. So the final question, what is your favourite food? Fish, meat, eggs, nuts and seeds, or cookies? Wow. That's a tough one because I like my food and I like all those. I can bin cookies straight away. I'm a huge fan. I'm trying not to think of the fact that this is going to gear it towards a certain kind of animal. I do love fish. Eggs I eat a lot of. But I think I'm going to go nuts and seeds because there's such a variety of them. Whereas if you just say fish, you're narrowing down. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go nuts and seeds. Okay, this is where we find out then, and I can tell you that my demon is a ferret. And there's a little explanation here. People with ferret demons are kind, compassionate and silly. They are loved by others and sensitive at heart. I mean, the picture of me with a ferret doesn't necessarily ring true for me, but that description is quite nice. If people think I'm kind, compassionate and silly, I'm happy to go with that. So there we go. Our demon is a ferret, and I'll get a nice picture of a ferret. We'll put it on the door of the Night's Delights next week, and then we'll come up with a name for said ferret. So as we're running over time, let's get on with this then. Outfit roulette is the first of our choices by chance, and I've noticed that with the bigger cube, it's very hard to get it to spin more frequently, so I'll do that with my eyes closed, and hopefully you can see that was completely random. It's yellow again, so next week I'll be wearing this yellow shirt again. And over the top of that, I will be wearing whatever is in column red, which will be my grey jacket, and then to accessorise that, whatever is in column purple, which will be headphones. That's going to be interesting next week logistically. So I'll be wearing this yellow shirt again, my grey jacket and headphones, and then this yellow shirt will be taken off Outfit Roulette, because 2 in a row means it's taken out. It's going to be a new sub condition of Outfit Roulette that we don't want to have the same outfit over again. So yellow shirt will be worn next week and then gone. Grey jacket over there and a pair of headphones. And I'll try and come up with a song for the purple card. Sorry for running over time. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. I don't care. I will see you next week. Have a great 7 days.